Yeah, that's a very common question because it's not like we go to the grocery stores and we all know kind of what a loaf of bread or a gallon of milk costs, but nobody goes to the grocery store for 6 months of pain and suffering or a lifetime of pain and suffering, much less the other factors that can come into damages like medical bills and time off of work. A lot of times insurance companies will reach out to somebody right after a crash hoping to get them to settle their case for a really low amount because at that point the full course of treatment isn't known, the full course of how that injury is going to ultimately end up manifesting and affecting the victim's life. At Abeyta Nelson, we do a comprehensive valuation on a case, and we don't want to settle any case until we're confident that we know with a high degree of certainty what the most likely outcome of that case in litigation would be, because ultimately that's our backup option if we don't settle the case. Most cases settle, but for what amount is a reasonable settlement, that is where it's really important to talk to an attorney. Some things that we look at is the course of treatment, how long it takes, how big of an effect on activities of daily living, recreational activities, social activities, as well as kind of hard number damages like medical bills, time off of work, damage to your car, other things like that. At the end of the day, what we're comparing it to is the outcome of other cases that go to trial or go to arbitration in Yakima County, in Eastern and Central Washington in general, as well as pulling on our 40 plus years of firm experience representing hundreds of clients and seeing how cases typically resolve. At the end of the day, it's ultimately the client's choice on any settlement, whether to accept it or not, and whether or not it feels fair and a respectful acknowledgement of the wrong that's been done to them. Experience is extremely important in evaluating a case and making recommendations and negotiating a case. You can end up basically in as big of trouble either undervaluing a case or overvaluing a case because there's inherent risk to litigation, there's expense to litigation, and it takes a lot of time. We'll pull on our 40 years of experience, look into how cases typically settle and the cases that do go through the litigation process, what issues either add value or add risk to those cases so that at any given point in the negotiation process, we can give our client a good recommendation based in real world experience about what the most likely outcome in the court system is, and so they can compare what the offer on the table is while our attorneys work to make sure that those offers on the table are as high as can be reasonably supported by the facts and the law.